So it's been a while. I'm on my way to go get my kids right now. A lot has gone on since my first video. So I did just want to update you guys on life a little bit. Since my last video, I went to Las Vegas to get a couple things out of my storage unit, which me and my ex share. It was actually a really nice visit. My ex, he currently lives with his sister, or my sister, as I call her. We're really close. So I stayed there, I think 2 nights, Friday night and then a Saturday night, left Sunday. I needed to get a couple of things for the kids out of my storage unit. I'm currently living with family, so I can't really take everything. So occasionally I go back and forth to my storage unit in Vegas. So that's what I did. The kids were able to see their dad, which was really nice. And then that's when this, I'm glad we got back in time, because then this coronavirus thing started to break out, which is really scary. I'm not sure, I'm not really political or anything. I really don't pay attention to that side of media at all, but even still, I am a mother of 3, so of course I'm going to worry for my kids, and I think it is the fear of the unknown that gets everybody. But I'm definitely taking precautions to make sure me and my little family stay safe. No traveling to Vegas, of course, for the time being. And right now it's Monday afternoon. This is my first Monday unemployed. I would say it's due to the coronavirus, but it's really not. The company I had worked for, I'm not going to mention names or anything because I'm not sure what I can or can't say. The company that I was working for got bought out by another company, and there were only so many positions available within the new company. They also were going to move offices, and due to my kids' daycare and just a number of other factors, I was unable to travel to that city every day for work. I wasn't able to take the position that was offered, unfortunately, and now, due to the coronavirus, I'm unsure if the other jobs that I was trying to line up will even pan out due to the closing of a lot of companies and non-essential businesses. So there's that. Currently going through that, so I'm sure I'm not the only one, and that there is other moms' family is going through the same struggles right now. My kids' daycare, for the time being, again, I'm not sure when I'll post this, so don't come at me in the comments, but for the time being, my kids' daycare is still open, and she checked with her licensing and everything. I'm not gonna name any names either, but my children's daycare provider is abiding by all the rules to keep her institution opened. So for now, my kids are still in daycare while I'm trying to look for another job and go through these hard times. And also, due to the coronavirus, I had my therapy session via telephone this past Friday, which was, it was different, but I still felt really good about it. It's usually at night, so I usually have my grandparents, who I live with right now, due to my separation. So I usually have them watch the kids while I go to her office and have my therapy session, and so on. But I had to go to my car, be like, okay, it's like I'm leaving, but I'm gonna go to my car. That way I can have my therapy session. I'm so grateful that I have family to help me throughout my separation at this time, while I'm picking myself back up. I'm no stranger to therapy. I've been in and out of therapy since childhood, but I've moved around a lot as well. So I'm always in and out of therapy, in and out with different therapists, given on what state I decide to live in that year. So, but we had a good session. We talked about how I've handled my separation before even going to therapy, and she brought up the fact, she said to me, I think you've already grieved you've already done that process and now you're just looking for support. And yes and no. Yes, I've done a lot of grieving. I've done a lot of, first couple months of my separation, I was crying every night when everybody went to bed. I'm a strong person, but I'm only so strong. Going to bed, as I told her, going to bed at night was the hardest, because you get used to having somebody there every night. Even when you are in a toxic relationship, you get so comfortable with having another person there, having somebody to always talk to, and that's something that I need to work on. I get lonely, and I'm not okay with being lonely. Like, if I don't have somebody to talk to, if I don't have somebody to cuddle with or be around, or basically to have contact with, like, if I have nobody no adult to be in communication with throughout the day, I feel off. I feel weird. And that's something I need to fix within myself. I need to learn how to be self-sufficient. And I know a lot of people are just like, well, how can you be lonely with 3 kids? And to be honest, that's what makes you feel the loneliest. Especially, due to circumstances, I'm the only one raising my kids right now. Me and my kids and my ex, my kid's dad, we live in different states. And hopefully, for my kids' sake, it won't be like this forever. But I had no family I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada. I had no family there. I had nowhere where I could stay. My closest family is here in Southern California, where I've been living for the past 5 months or so. I would say we mentally left the relationship a long time before we physically left the relationship. But that's neither here or there. But when I physically had to leave my apartment, I had nowhere else to go but to Southern California, and that's about 5 hours away from Las Vegas. So hopefully, for the sake of my kids, I want them to have both parents in their life, right? I want them to have both parents. I want him to be a present father, an involved father, despite how I may feel or he may feel. It's not about us at the end of the day, and it's about what's best for our kids. And right now, given the present circumstances, what's best for our kids is that both of us are present in their lives, and giving them a healthy, 2 healthy homes. Unfortunately, he doesn't have his own place. I don't have my own place. Fortunately, right now is not the time for that. I was going to get myself together in 2020 and figure it out from there, but due to the coronavirus, just kidding. But, hopefully eventually that happens and we can do that for our children and give them 2 happy homes. That's the ultimate goal here. I hope that one day we can get along, go to school functions together eventually, have that peaceful co-parenting relationship. And whenever he decides to get another relationship, or whenever I decide to get another relationship, I hope that we can all peacefully coexist. I may be well-wishing right now. Again, I can't see the future. But hopefully one day we can have a pretty healthy blended family. Sorry if me driving is making the camera all wobbly. I can't really tell right now, but I just thought about that. So hopefully when I'm editing, it's not too terribly wobbly. With everything going on, I've had very little time to film, and I want to keep putting these out there. I had a pretty good response from my first video. To me, I'm no social media person, so I don't get tons of likes and views and all that stuff, but putting my first video out felt good, so I want to keep doing that, keep creating content for you guys. I have no reason to not have a good relationship with my kid's dad. I know that there have been things in the past, and my family is just like, well, why aren't you more mad at how this happened? Or why aren't you more upset at this or that he does? Why aren't you worried about what he's doing? And at that point, I'm like, if I sit there and I worry about every single thing that my ex does, one, I drive myself crazy, and two, I spent months crying every night, mourning the loss of my marriage, the final loss of my marriage, the fact that I'm like, okay, this is done for good. There's no going back. I spent months mourning over that, and I'm mentally stable now, so why would I do something that would get me back to that place of depression and mourning? Sorry, I just parked at my kids' daycare. I feel like I'm in a healthier place now than I've ever been. I still have my times where I cry, and I explain this to my therapist too. I still have my days where I cry and where I don't feel as strong, but I'm not mourning for my marriage anymore. I'm not sad because I'm getting divorced. And this is how I explain it to my therapist. I'm not sad because I'm getting divorced. I'm sad because my kids' parents are divorced. And I know, life goes on. There are worse things than having divorced parents, but as I said in my previous video, I think, I had this image of how my life would be, and this just wasn't it. Which I'm coming to terms with. I am. I feel like I'm heading in the right direction there. I just got to basically trust that there's another plan for me, that there's another path for me, and there is somebody out there that'll give me what I deserve, and there's a bigger picture to everything. So well, I'm gonna go walk in and get my kids now, so I'll check back in a little bit.
A color.
You're coloring?
Yeah. I color purple.
That's purple?
I color red.
That is red, baby. Good job.
Is that color the car?
Yeah.
I color gray.
Wow.
Gray right there.
Yeah.
Gray.
I missed you.
Mommy finger red.
Here I am. How do you do? Here I am. How do you do? You guys are silly. So as a treat, at the end of this video, I'm going to include a few clips from my upcoming makeup video with my sister. Hope you guys like. Hand with her back. This might be less camera quality because now it's my camera, but... So while we were gone on break, her brother, my baby daddy, roasted the hell out of us. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Come on. There's a lot of colors on my eyes right now. Ace is like, it looks like you got a tan everywhere except your eyes. I added the yellow, like he said. I don't like it. In your experience as a mom, what would you say has been the hardest experience? I feel like definitely like feeling like he's not reaching milestones that every other kid is. I just felt like if they knew Luke the way that I do. If they looked at kids subjectively and not as a whole group. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys for watching my second Divorce Chronicles video. I'm gonna try and keep doing more. Maybe do some different things as well. You can go ahead and message me or comment what else you would like to see. But so far I'm just talking about my experience and hoping that it helps somebody. So I hope you guys stay safe out there, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.